Hello, we are getting back online. Yeah, I'm just getting everything back set up. Let that be a lesson to you. If you start screwing around with your system clock too much, you start suffering from hardware failures. In this case, it looks like the webcam had like a driver issue and was halting anything that tried to read from it. So I'm back. Hooray. Yeah, so I think one of those previous questions was how do we get builds over to Adam and stuff like that, like if he has something. Well, he can build the whole game locally, so that's not a problem. In terms of like, I can just check in. Yeah, definitely. When you're screwing around with your system clock, yeah, all bets are off. Yeah, when in doubt, just turn it off, turn it back on again. So yeah, I can just with Perforce, I can check out a file like a text file and edit it and check it in, and then he'll pull it down and he can build the game and run it. That works for all that. For nightly build, God, excuse me. For nightly builds, what we've got is we've got another sync folder. And basically what it does is the build machine has a sync folder that uses torrent again to BitTorrent tech to send all the builds over as well. So it works out pretty well. Like and that folder we only have read access to, so like the build machine can write to it and nobody else can, and it gets mirrored out there to all the machines, and we always have a peer online because our like this is the art folder, like we always have like the build machine is always online, so there's always somebody syncing in all the changes and getting everything. Other than that, if we have a nightly build that kicks off every night. It builds the game, it builds the server, it builds everything, and it deploys an updated server to the test environment. And we have a test account management page where you can go download the latest build from the actual website, and only certain Twitch accounts can like get to this page and actually download stuff. So he can download, like we have basically a mirror of production that we can download all the latest stuff and run it from. So if he wants to, yeah, when we're testing out a build, we actually have like the real build and everything all automated and good to go. So it just kind of works. So the question is, what should I do next? I wasn't expecting to fix the server time stuff so easily. Let's just check in those changes. Can't wait for the update. That new level is, yeah, that new level is pretty sweet. I should actually boot it up and take a look at it. Yeah, there's also a lot of fixes in the new update. Just it's. I'm glad I write everything down, because otherwise I'd never be able to keep track of everything that got fixed. But basically what I've got is every time I'm actually working on features, like I've got all these features down here that I'm working on, but I've also got like this big list of bugs that I need to fix. And I try to take from both lists kind of as I'm working, kind of switch off between do a feature or fix a bug. That way stuff's getting fixed and also we're making progress. Alright, cool. Go do your animation thing and draw pictures that I am unable to draw because you know how to draw. Because you've worked hard at drawing. And hopefully enjoy it. So we'll see what Adam's got cooking on this new level. I fixed the ping issue? Some viewers didn't like the ping stuff. I'm not sure what you mean by the ping issue. Because you could be saying like that you can't see ping in the of other players in the tab menu. Or are you talking about the punching people in the face across the planet thing? Because that ping issue of like the latency advantage in some cases is not fixed. We'll see when we can get to that. But basically, to fix the latency issues, we have to change things to do it, and it's kind of like there's only so much time for us to fix everything we want. Yeah, there's definitely some issues with it looks like, yeah, rigging is becoming a much bigger problem with the complex geometry. I'm going to make sure to send Adam an email about that. Yeah, I don't want to tell you something wrong, so I'm not going to say we'll have everything fixed immediately. Let's see. Collision with new level. The new forest level has a lot of complex collision on the trees, which involves a lot of aerial collision. The previous email about rigging not being set up properly is causing a lot of tiny collision issues when landing. It'd be a good idea to fix that rigging sooner rather than later, if you have time. Say this isn't critical for the updates. Alright, so let me just look at our calendar real quick so I can give you an idea of when the latency stuff would be on our plate. Like, what we're working on this update is dedicated servers, the new forest level, and a lot of performance improvements. So like the UI performance improvements, and a lot of bug fixes. The next update is like we're getting the practice rooms all set up, and we're going to get the in-game UI level set up so we have cool 3D backgrounds for the UI. That's important because that makes making the UI a lot easier for Adam. He doesn't have to go paint a whole background for everything, and it'll help us out. So we'll have practice rooms and all that stuff. And then after practice rooms, and that kind of finishes off our tutorial, we kind of have two things that we might be working on. We're either going to be working on character customization and progression. So this would be like, you can actually customize your dude, and see other people's customizations, and then you could like unlock stuff to customize. So like, you'd start off with, the scraggly, ugly bitey that, or ugly Dashkin that looks stupid, and then, by winning matches and stuff, you can unlock cooler crap to put on your character, and, elite badges and whatever. The other thing we could work on is the new abilities. We have a whole new ability system, which is not just punching people in the face, right? So this would be like, we've been toying around with having the ability to counter moves, in terms of like, if you think somebody's going to do a straight punch, you should maybe be able to crouch and trip them, instead of just getting hit in the face if you're expecting, their move. And the counter to that should be somebody else can maybe slide into you if you're crouched, and will be able to hit you that way. So you can kind of do some rock, paper, scissors, ninja foo. Will a dedicated server be better than me hosting a game? It could be, yeah. The dedicated server will run at a frame rate independent of your renderer and everything. And if you have a multi-core machine, like you got more than one processor, like almost everybody, it'll run over on another core. So you're not dealing with, things taking up all your processing power to render it. But it probably won't help you for. And the other thing a dedicated server will do is you can kind of just, if you got like a machine at your house or something you're not using, you can just run the server on that and then just leave it alone, and it'll be there forever, and all that. So it's really for a few people who want to host kind of persistent stuff, just so they have their own stuff always running. And you'll be able to do custom options for that nicer, and so you can also have more people join your game, and you'll be able to change a bit more of the game options. Yeah, but for the abilities, well, part of the whole ability system overhaul is going to change all this stuff. So like, we could fix the latency issues for the current movesets, but then we're just going to redo the whole ability system anyway. So we'd be throwing out all our bug fixes. So I don't think we're going to get to actually fixing the latency issue for the current implementation of abilities, because they're going to go away in their present form. Does the update fix any optimization for that? Which level, or is it every level, does that happen on? Is your lag happening on both levels? All right. Because what I saw was, what resolution are you running at? Are you running at like a 2500 resolution for the game, or are you running at more like a 1900 by whatever? Not the game. 1920 by 1080. Yeah. It was laggy in XSplit. Well, depends if XSplit is using your graphics card, and as a result of your graphics card being overtaxed, XSplit lags or something. Because I know it could be. Alright, I was trying to fix something, but I got distracted. It could be causing some issues there with that. We have done some performance optimizations. The biggest killer of our optimizations right now, of our performance right now, is the foliage and the shadows for that. and that is the fixes for that are not in this update. We have optimized them. We've done some work to make it better, but like the real fix for that isn't in. But it should make a big difference. Yeah, the other thing would be if you're dropping frames, if you're not actually getting like a consistent 60 frames per second or something, and like XSplit is jittering a little bit with inconsistent frame times, and it would. I don't know. I don't know enough about XSplit, to be honest. I use OBS, and I haven't had any problems with like that. Only webcams exploding and not working, which is always fun. Alright, so that's just removing some log spam, because the forest level has a lot more aerial collision on it, it looks like, with the trees that are complex, and some of the rigging is not set up proper for landing in all situations, and we've kind of been able to cheese that. Yeah, well, there's a lot we can do with optimizing that foliage. The problem is, the main problem is the shadows for the foliage are they're kind of depending upon that crappy performance in order to render properly, due to kind of how things were initially set up. Gave Adam the wrong impression on how to do shadows for the grass and the foliage, and to fix it, he has to go do a bit more exploration and figure out how to get the look back using the correct system. Other than that, yeah, that we'll see. We've got some good stuff, and there are definitely improvements. Let's add the fade back to the UI. We should be able to do that now. Is that still building? Jesus. It's only a CPP file. Alright, let's make sure that the fade in is working there. Yeah, and that's kind of... There's probably two things that would really help our project out. Would be if we had another engineer that was more dedicated to doing gameplay stuff, and then if we had an artist who was like a tech artist who knew all the ins and outs of Unreal to help Adam optimize things that that he makes and make it play nicely inside of the engine. But alas, you need like friends in order to recruit people first. It's like, hey, come work at my startup. Can you pay me? No. No, we can't. Are you gonna make money? Probably not. Well, you drive a hard bargain, but I'm gonna have to say no. Friends, yeah, exactly. And the other thing is like trusting people and working remotely and stuff like that is real tough. Okay, so we got that fade. Oh yeah, another thing that is going to be in this update that people should be real happy about is the collision between you and the ball is a lot better. We had an issue with the collision where we were checking one frame behind where you were for your collision. Now, you might not think that's a big deal, but Bitey moves so damn fast that it's actually a massive problem. And that made it into this update. So I think people are going to notice that all of a sudden, a lot of the times when they were like running past the ball and didn't hit it, they're going to hit it now instead of missing like a chump for nobody's fault except mine. So that'll be something that I hope nobody notices, because they shouldn't notice it, because it should just work, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this makes sense. Just your brain will notice it, though. Excellent. You noticed it? Hashtag noticed. Yeah. That's how it works. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just making sure that I got these transition fades proper. Because we disabled them because we were having some pretty bad performance with the UI, and I think I got that sorted out. That looks like it's working all right. All right. I need to get like reset because I wasn't expecting to be at this point for working on things today. All right. Maybe I should fix on. Okay, so pre-game state, in-game state, sudden death starting, sudden death state, game over state, pre-game lobby state. I don't know. I've got kind of a block going on with getting started. So I need to upgrade the arena level, like the level blueprint, to have like a pre-game, in-game, sudden death, and all that. How am I gonna do all this though? Alright, thanks for sticking around. And for all the questions. Sorry, not all my answers are exactly what you want to hear. Anyway, I will be right back. Alright. Alright, so we need to add all the different states that this level is going to support. So we can keep the timers in there, but we need the states set up. Alright, so I think we need to start using like our auto-gen system here for some of this garbage. Alright, so we have our game state, pre-game lobby, game over, sudden death starting. We have our objects, bracket tag, game objects.json. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to need an object which is going to hold our game state. So why don't we have some name? This will be bracket game state. State data. Let's just do it like that. So in the game state data, we're going to have Alright, so we'll have the current state. I guess I should have next state and then like next state time. How did I get the time across to JavaScript land? Oh yeah, and I need to fix the ping. The ping is wrong for the beacon. It's half of what it's supposed to be. So Get current game state. Let's see, post game in milliseconds. So where is the game state? We're actually using int64s for these, and that actually works. Okay, that's cool. Let's see, for our generated stuff, blueprint read write, yeah, so we can't blueprint read write on int64s. Alright, so we're going to need to change our object generator for our declaration. So templates, Dashkin game, CPP, objects. That's going to be the .h. So we're going to say if variable dot type. We're just going to have it be a U property with no access. Okay, so we can have a long, so have next state time. That'll give us timers for the next thing. We need a game state that is, we have undefined. Let's just say, let's actually make a new thing here for like there is no next game state and have it well defined. None. Let's just say none. Default is none. Okay, so countdown, game is running, countdown to draw, special music, players need to be reset. Play game is ended, no control character. Show stats, show which teams won, votes. Alright, so the state data should have stuff like this. So that's how our game state is organized, but we're going to want more than that. We're going to want like our Brackensack game, I guess it's score data. So we're going to have like, left scores, right scores. I have to remake some of this UI stuff. So that's just going to have to happen at some point. Left score, right score. Let's see. I guess time end time? Or, I mean, we have the next state time. So we can use that. Some levels won't have a score. So that'll make that. Alright, so we can start adding kind of the ideas behind these things. Yeah, I think we want to just separate these things out. Yeah, alright. I'm trying to think of the way I want to start to keep using the UI stuff, because how I've been doing it currently has been kind of cumbersome as hell. Line 30? Expected a number boolean, but this value to a string. Okay, here we go. So let's see, we've got our N64 there. I'll be right back. Alright, so that should work. Alright, so let's start with the new level flow. So we want some basic data structures. So kind of the problem is I need to create this new level flow system without breaking the current level flow system. Especially with the update coming at the end of the week, that's pretty critical. So I think I need to go actually kind of, yeah. I think I need to just start. You know, like when you're working on something and you're not really sure what to do, and you get kind of paralyzed by stuff. I need to just kind of just start digging somewhere. You know, put the shovel in the ground. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to start making like variables and other things that we'll be working with. So I think I want to actually start using the new variables that I've created and the new enums and everything like that. So it's going to need to be, we need to make a new variable which is a game state data, and that's going to be rack-and-sack game state. This is going to be replicated, and we'll need to rep notify. Okay, so let's put this as category level next map index. Alright, so this is another thing I might actually want to hook up. Yeah, I need to at least hook up the next map stuff before we do the update, because while we won't have playlists, I don't think I'm going to get all that done. We can have the server cycle to the next map one after the other, or maybe like play 3 and then the next map and then play 3 of that and then the next. I think at least that could work. So I'm going to put this as new level. So let me do that first. Just like, let's go ahead and put the arena level in here. And add like some default functionality where so foggy night, forest, yeah, okay, let's have the sunny day is another one. Because if we can't have playlists, we can at least have, you know, a few things. So we'll get these next map index, and let's also do maps until next, and let's set that to like 3. So it'll play 3 matches. Yeah, matches until next. It's a better name. Matches until next map. And oh, okay, this is arena level specific. I'd have to go into each level and add a new map to transition to, because this next map index stuff isn't going to work because it's a level specific object. Great. So we'll want next map to be like instance editable, and yeah, so it'll have to be like that. So this sets which map will be next. This should be just a single string too. And this is how many matches to play before going to next map. Alright, so let's just go ahead and set that up. So sunny day will go to foggy night, which will go to forest. Foggy night will go to the forest after 3 matches. And the forest will go to sunny day after 3 matches. So I'll make it simple, right? And the arena test will have it go to the sunny day after 3 matches. Alright, so this will be auto advance of level flow. This is going to be, let's see. I guess it's going to be server in match. And we got no references. Alright, so what we want to do is matches until next map. We want to increment. Actually, let's have matches completed. This is not a public variable. Start it at 0. Alright, so matches completed plus plus. We don't want it at the end of the match, we want it at the end of the post game. So it's going to be server post game. On game finished. Alright, so server initialize match. Alright, so we're going to do matches completed plus plus, and we're going to say if matches until next map, this match completed is greater than or equal to, well, let's just say greater than. And the length here needs to be greater than 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next map. Otherwise, I think it was just a server travel. Yeah, it was just this simple. So let's just do that.